welcome back to In Black America Radio with your host Rasta B. It is August 7th. Adjust this mic real quick. August 7th, 2020, 9 o'clock. We're basically gonna be talking about general topics today, but the title of this show is called Let's Talk Biden. As always, the guest calling number 516-531-9992. We're just jumping straight into this, you know what I'm saying? My co-host didn't even patch in yet. So we're just jumping straight into this, you know? A lot to talk about. Ironically, last week's show, yes, we did have a show last week. Last week's show, for whatever reason, was not recorded. It's pretty strange, you know. I was setting this show up, and I'll tell the story when Smoke get in. Like it one time, I don't want to say it two times. You know what I'm saying? But I did want to read something while we wait for my co-host, and this is a part from Martin Luther King's book, "Where Do We Go From Here? Chaos or Community?" So in the meanwhile, I'm gonna read a part from here. So this is from chapter 5. The title is Where We Are Going, right? And the part that I'm reading from is like, it's broke down into a second part or whatnot, right? So they're talking about basically the Negro. So this part I'm going to start at is here. You know what? Let me start from here. All right, so it goes. In the area of ideology, despite the impact of the works of a few Negro writers on a limited number of white intellectuals, In the area of ideology, despite the impact of the works of a few Negro writers on a limited number of white intellectuals, all too few Negro thinkers have exerted an influence on the main current of American thought. Nevertheless, Negroes have illuminated imperfections in the democratic structure that were formerly only dimly perceived, and have forced a concerned re-examination of the true meaning of American democracy. As a consequence of the vigorous Negro protests, the whole nation has, for a decade, probed more certainly the essential nature of democracy, both economic and political. By taking to the streets and their given practical lessons in democracy and its defaults, Negroes have decisively influenced white thought. Lacking sufficient access to television, publication, and broad forums, Negroes have had to write their most persuasive essays with the blunt pen of marching ranks. The many white political leaders and well-meaning friends who ask Negro leadership to leave the streets may not realize that they are asking us effectively to silence ourselves. The twice forgotten man in America has always been the Negro. His groans were not heard, his needs were unfelt, until he found the means to state his case in the public square. Most white people learn more about the shame of America and finally face some aspects of it. During the years of nonviolent protests than during the century before, nonviolent direct action will continue to be a significant source of power until it is made irrelevant by the... Let me read that part again. Hold on. So it goes, and finally face some aspects of it. Yeah, more white people learn more about the shame of America and finally face some aspects of it during the years of nonviolent protests than during the century before. Nonviolent direct action will continue to be a significant source of power until it is made irrelevant by by the presence of justice. The economic highway to power has few entry lanes for Negroes. I'll read that again. The economic highway to power has few entry lanes for Negroes. Nothing so vividly reveals the crushing impact of discrimination and the heritage of exclusion as the limited dimensions of Negro business in the most powerful economy in the world. Let me read that again. Nothing so vividly reveals the crushing impact of discrimination and the heritage of exclusion as the limited dimensions of Negro business in the most powerful economy in the world. America's industrial production is half of the world's total. I mean, not no more. This is during Martin Luther King time. Within it, the production of Negro business is so small that it can scarcely be measured on any definable scale. Yet, in relation to the Negro community, the value of Negro business should not be underestimated. In the internal life of the Negro society, it provides a degree of stability. Let me read that again. Yet, in relation to the Negro community, the value of Negro business should not be underestimated. In the internal life of the Negro society, it provides a degree of stability. Despite formidable obstacles, it has developed a corpse of men, corps, corpse of men of competence and organizational discipline who constitutes a talented leadership reserve. I'm going to read that again. In the internal life of the Negro society, it provides a degree of stability. Despite formidable obstacles, it has developed a corps of men of competence and organizational discipline who constitute a talented leadership reserve. Their cumulative strength may be feeble, measured against the mammoth of white industry. But within the community, they furnish inspiration and are a resource for the development of programs and planning. So I wanted to put that out there because that's something that me and Smoke always talk about and reiterate, that a lot of times when people want to talk about the quality of men, we don't tie that into the lack of economy. When we talk about the quality of women, we don't count that into the lack of us having an economy. When we talk about the broken family, when we talk about the children and how they're raised and acting and developing, when we talk about all of our problems, we don't realize the solution is an economy. We don't realize this. But even reading the book from Martin Luther King, Where Do We Go From Here, he's even showing that even though these black business can't hold a candle to these white businesses, it's a staple and it's a necessity in our community because it brings the respect, the pride, the competence, the leadership, the structure. You know what I'm saying? You're have 30-year-old men with their pants sagging because they're too busy running their books with their business and raising their families. So you can't look at how society is now, complain about it, but then we don't want to deal with the number one problem, which is lack of an economy. But before I continue on with my rant, let me go ahead and bring in Smoke. Smoke, are you?
You. Wow.
Shit, man. You heard me when I was reading with the Martin Luther King shit?
Yeah. I've been on for a little now, so I was catching some of those.
Yeah, man. I found that interesting, you know what I'm saying, as he's speaking, I mean, well, you know, as I'm reading his words, and he's talking about, he's showing that even though these businesses can't hold up, even though Smoke got a little fucking store that houses black products, like the Black Family Dollar that we be talking about, right? It may not be as big as White Family Dollar, you know what I'm saying? It may not be as big, but guess what? It looked good in the black community. You dig what I'm saying? It looked good. It gives an avenue for that black woman who creates a product, creates soaps and shit like that. It gives an avenue for the black businesses that makes the tissues or the shoes or the socks to be like, oh, okay, this store is going to pick up orders for me and buy my sell and sell to the people. I don't have to bow and crawl on my knees to Target. I can go to this. It's not as big as Target, but guess what? It's in all black neighborhoods. It's a staple. You know what I'm saying? The people that own it, and that's what I was saying earlier. When you're looking at men now, 30 years old, if we had an economy and these brothers being raised up from birth, that this is your responsibility and you're supposed to be, you know what I'm saying? If you can't find a job, you're supposed to create your own job type shit. You won't see these 30-year-old boys, and I say that on purpose, these 30-year-old boys pants sagging, staring up at the sky, trying to figure out life. You know what I'm saying? Because they'll be too busy running something. You're not going to see these chicks running around with ass and titties all hanging out and shit looking for somebody to carry them through life. You know what I'm saying? Because they'll be too busy running their fucking businesses. They'll be too busy raising children with their family. They'll be too busy. You know what I'm saying? Like,
yeah, we don't got nothing to do. And so it's like if we not
basically
making money, what they say is like the idle mind is a dull playground. So it's like it's not much to do out here outside of buildings. Making money. If you just running around in the street, you don't have a job, don't have a business. There isn't so many things to do outside of getting in trouble with shit.
Yeah.
Or something negative. You know what I mean? So it's like most of us, we don't have an economy, so most of our children is out in the streets. And us too.
Yeah.
A lot of us ain't even working or even leading families and shit like that. So yeah, if we don't got shit to do, then that's gonna be the result of that.
And the shit that kills me about it is like I don't understand how we don't get that. You know what I'm saying? Like this ain't new.
Right.
How we don't get that shit? That's how we don't get it? We look at everybody. Even if you listen to the news and see the news is so crazy because it got you hating Trump. Got you hating Trump so much, you're missing the main point when you hear them saying the economy, the number one economy, strengthening the economy. Trump ties the stock market to the economy. China's the second largest economy. Texas is the 10th largest economy. California is the largest economy. You hear them say economy. You hear them say economy. You hear them talk about Latino economy and the Latino impact. You hear them say these things. And we still be like we don't get it. You know what I'm saying? Because we're workers. And we've been bred to think as workers. If Harriet Tubman was alive right now, Smoke, you know what she would say? Oh shit, how they made y'all back slaves? And look, y'all don't even know y'all slaves. You say, I ain't no slave, I got a Benz. Like they ain't have fucking enslaved Africans with nice fucking things.
Crazy.
They have Africans with nice things.
That's crazy.
You know what I'm saying? That's why Harriet Tubman said she could have freed more. Going off of that statement, right? She could have freed more if only they knew they were slaves. That's how we are now. That's how we are now. You know what I'm saying? Like we think we free. We think we good. Yeah, and just like you gotta argue with people. You gotta argue with people to let you no we not, yo. No we not. We don't got control over this, we don't got control over every generation. We know the problem. We'll sit there and say to you, Smoke, you know what the problem is, Smoke, with black people? We don't put money aside, yo. So because we don't put money aside or we don't get life insurance, then our children start at zero. You know what I'm saying? And if we die and our children get that money, you jump for them. And that shit sound good, right? For a worker.
Yeah.
And the reason why I say that shit sound good for a worker, because guess what? You ain't never talk about establishing no type of business sense to your child. Your solution was if your child had more money. That's a worker's mentality. And I'm not saying that's a wrong way of thinking. You dig what I'm saying, Smoke? I'm just saying that's not the solution. Yeah, that's not the solution. Because nowhere in the conversation do you hear somebody, when they say that, they say, right, because I'm raising my child to be ... where they're, you know what I'm saying? So when this money comes, they're saying I'm putting this insurance on my body, so when I'm die, I know my children have enough money to live good. But it's like they're still not business, you know what I'm saying? They're still not moving into the direction of building an economy. That's still in the worker's mind frame, a spender's mind frame. You know what I'm saying? And that's why I'm saying that's where the first step goes. It got to go with the children, and we have to start to let them know. Listen, homie, everything you do got to be for the betterment of the race. Straight up. You are a representation of the last. Huh?
We got to just start by being less materialistic. Because I was thinking, like, when you were saying that, you're giving your example or whatever, you know what I'm saying? You'll have somebody saying that same, you know, that same statement, but they'll be in line buying Jordans or buying something that they don't need, you know what I'm saying? So it's like, I notice a lot of times we materialistic. That's like, I ain't gonna say it's the number one thing, but our materialism donates to other people's economy. You know what I'm saying? It's not like we're creating these sneakers or, you know, whatever you want to, you know, insert object. You know, we're not creating those things for us to spend on and make money off of. It's like other economies are, you know, presenting these items to us and we buy them and shit like that. But it's really, you know, you don't need 10 pairs of sneakers. You know what I'm saying? You know, you don't need a bunch of, you know, you don't need 20 different pairs of jeans or, you know, things like that. It's like a lot of times we take that into value, you know, having these things and shit, but it in no way is it helping us at all. It's actually helping other economies and shit.
But we do that for a reason. The whole purpose of doing that is to differentiate one poor person from another poor person. You know what I'm saying? That's it. You know what I'm saying? I don't want you to think I'm like this poor guy who can only wear one sneaker. So I'm going to get 5. You know what I'm saying? So you can know I ain't broke. So you have to do that. You know what I'm saying? Because if you don't, you're lumped into a group. But me, I don't really care about if you materialistic or not. I agree with what you said. Currently, the money goes to other nations' economy. But what I'm thinking now with what we should be doing is, instead of criticizing our bad habits and how we spend poorly, we should have an outline of every industry or business that we patronize, and then figure out how do we not figure out plus with action, you know what I'm saying? Actively infiltrate, attack, and be a part of those industries that we patronize and spend recklessly to get some of that money back. Instead of complaining about who's spending the money, try to get a portion of that money back. Even if it's 2%, you know what I'm saying, out of $1 billion. You know what I'm
saying? Yeah, I got you. I got you.
Well, yeah, that's how I look at that shit now.
Even you'll have somebody who's successful, like they have a business that turns money, but they spend it on, nothing that's a necessity. Like, I got 2 cars instead of building your business, you know what I'm saying? But the point, like you making, is more so like how do we take advantage of people spending? Because a lot of times you can't change that. You know, me or you can't. We can talk all the shit we can talk all the shit we want. Motherfuckers still gonna go get what they want. So that's how you take I guess that's how you would take advantage of it or whatever. Is, shit, people gonna be how they be. Let me get that, and you establish your business based off of that. So I definitely understand what you're saying.
Yeah.
I'll be saying
if everybody gonna buy an iPhone,
habits, you'll be okay.
Yeah, if everybody gonna buy an iPhone and I can't stop that, let me at least make cases. You know what I'm saying? Let me black cases. You know what I'm saying? And then everybody rocking the red, black, and green cases or some shit. You know what I'm saying? Africa, the Unk or some shit on it. And I could get a portion.
That's like the business level. You know what I mean? Like the business level would be to take advantage of it and shit. On an individual level, you should. But I guess both of them go hand in hand because, like, you need that spending for your business to thrive. So I get what you're saying.
Yeah. And that's my whole shit. But then when we do these things, we also have to do it with black thought, with black consciousness. You know what I'm saying? Like, we can't, like, getting money is getting money. That's easy because we live in a capitalistic society. We don't live in a repressed society. Like, as much as, you know what I'm saying, certain individuals want us to believe that as black people, we have way more rights now than we had in the past. You know what I'm saying? Like, they got us fighting emotions. I don't care if you as a white person don't like me. You know what I'm saying? Like, let me tell you. So I'm looking for a house, right? And I live around black people. I don't feel comfortable living outside people, you know what I'm saying? But I always live around black people. I look at the ratio and I say, how many white people live here? How many black people? Oh, it's too many white people here. I don't want to live in this area. Bring me to the area where there's more black people at. That's the type of person I am. So my boss, right, she white. So she's saying she's selling her house, right? So I said, yeah, I'm thinking about selling my house. So she's like, oh, why don't you buy my house? I'm thinking to myself, I don't live around y'all. I ain't living around y'all. Fuck out of here. I live around my people. So that's my whole shit now. You know what I'm saying? So it's like everything that we do gotta be black conscious. You know what I'm saying? So even if you're saying, I'm gonna make a product. Let's say, like we was talking about, off air, about the hatchery thing, right? Not the hatchery, the fish.
Fish hatchery.
Yeah, the hatchery then. Yeah, the fish hatchery shit. You sit over here now. You start a fish hatchery, fish, chicken, as you fish, chicken, to grow, vegetables or whatever. Who knows, whatever. Now, when you selling your shit and you growing your fish, you have to make sure your shit is ethically raised. It can't be made based upon how much bread you can make off it. You dig what I'm saying? Like, you have to make it where you know the fish is healthy. It's in fresh water. It's being fed properly. You know what I'm saying? Like, when the people eat it, is, you know what I'm saying? It has to be kosher. It has to be halal. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't have a word for it, which it would have to be probably Swahili or an African word. You know what I'm saying? But for whatever, you know what I'm saying? But we have to practice something. You understand what I'm saying? Where it's just like, you can still get paper. You can still be balling. You know what I'm saying? You can still be in a strip club making it rain, in a black strip club, you know what I'm saying, making it rain. You can still be doing your thing. But guess what? You're not exploiting your people. You have apartments or whatever, right? And you got Section 8 tenants. Let's say 100% of your Section 8 tenants is damn black people, right? Cool. You getting all that government money, but you still got to be pro-black. So when you get in the apartments painted, you got to make sure that paint don't got lead in it. You know what I'm saying? You got to make sure the piping don't have lead inside of it, and it's fucking up the people. You can't be a slumlord to your people. You dig what I'm saying? You have to get the bread on the capitalistic side.
Without cutting the corners.
You said what?
Without cutting the corners.
Without cutting corners, even if you cut corners, but it's still righteous corners.
Something not harm the people, basically.
Right. As long as you don't harm the people.
You want to save money, but you don't want to be hurt. You want to stay ethical, I guess that's the word. You want to stay ethical for your people.
For your people, you know what I'm saying? That way you're not sitting over here now and you're contributing to the demise of your people.
I can take all the money, but I'm going to leave some on the table for my community. Instead of charging $2,000 a month, I can let y'all go for $1,500 for the area. That's very good. It's affordable. Hey, I don't need every dollar. I still profit for me. I'm going to get people in there at a good price. It'll save a few dollars, the extra $500. Gonna help somebody care. Help you, get through the year or whatever.
Yeah. So, I mean, I wouldn't even be that. I mean, you way more generous than me, you know what I'm saying? I wouldn't even be that generous, But it's just because my whole thing is
this is like an example, really,
Yeah. Just that generous example to give you that idea, I wouldn't even be that generous, but even in that example, it's just the idea of you still getting paid, you control a market, you rubbing shoulders with politicians, you're doing all the high society shit without exploiting your people, though. Without exploiting your people. You got a bank. You see what I'm saying? You could still charge overdraft fees and shit like that, Smoke. The overdraft protection. You could still charge overdraft protection, but guess what? Your overdraft protection ain't got to be the same price as everybody else overdraft protection. If everybody else ATM is $20, you could have $10 ATMs. Your fee ain't gotta be $2 and $3. Your fee could be $1. You know what I'm saying? Like little shits like that. That when black people see that, and it's like that's what encourages black people to be like, yo, let me stay on this side. Let me stay on this side. Who you bank with? Chase, Wells Fargo. Damn, yo, you fuck with them? Don't they got them $5 fees and all kind of shit, $3 fees and shit? Nah, I be going to black man's bank over here. They got $1 fee. You know what I'm saying? Shit. They let you have a fucking penny inside the account, yo. They not closing the shit, yo. You ain't got, you know what I'm saying? Like that, they're gonna automatically draw you over here. Next thing you know, you're gonna have control over, let's say, 80% of the fucking black population dollar. 80% over the black dollar. This one bank. You get what I'm saying? Like, power. You paying these politicians. You buying the properties up. You now got the mortgages. So now guess what, black people? I want to get a home. Well, you need a loan. But the banks won't. How? How the banks won't? When you got a black bank that controls 80% of the black wealth. Or black banks with an S. Let's not just say one. Fuck it. Black banks with an S controlling, let's say, 80% of the black wealth in America. Now, with banks, they don't hold your money. They flip your money. So they flipping it by buying properties. Now, you as a black person able to get a loan from this black bank, able to get a home. They control your interest rate. Like, we don't understand how this shit go. Why? Because we want to be workers. So then we want to play their game and then go into their standards and don't meet their standards and then can't get the shit. And then we start to poot and pout and then get mad and angry and say the games ain't fair. It's time for us to make our own game. You know what I'm saying, Smoke? Build your own fucking game now.
Be in the position we currently in forever. You know what I mean? Like, always being dependent on eating off somebody else. We can do that always.
See who killed me? Black men. Black men kill me. Because we getting so, not we, but that generation coming up, man, they're getting so pussified, man. It's not even, it's a shame. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, it's weird. I have read this story August 6th, right? The title is Black Man Shares Crucial Lesson After Getting Pulled Over by the Police. I've never seen this happen to me. So he goes, a black comedian is teaching a vital lesson after sharing his experience getting pulled over by the police. So, Kieran Harris, an actor and internet personality, better known as King Kieran, posted a video about the incident on Twitter. The clip, whatever. So it goes, so the cops pulled me, he's 32 years old, right? So he said he was 32 years old, got pulled over outside his neighborhood. He had just gotten a new car and only had the temporary license plate. So the cops pulled me over and they're like, why don't you got plates on your car? Harris said. So I tell them the story. And they're like, okay, cool. We're going to check and make sure it's your car. And if it's yours, if it is, you'll go free. Harris explains that as a black man, he used to being guilty and to proven innocent. So he sat patiently and waited for the officer to return. Meanwhile, he noticed another car parked across the street. Inside, there was a white woman on her phone recording Harris' entire exchange with the officer. I'm like, what the hell is this lady doing? Harris said. But then I looked at her face and she just looked all scared, like she's almost in distress. And then it hits me. The lady is recording me because she's scared something's going to happen to me. Harris said this was the first time he experienced something like that. She's out here being an ally, the comedian went on to say. This is some crazy shit because I've never seen this ever happen to me. According to Harris, it took the officer 15 minutes to run his plates. The woman stayed on the phone the entire time to record everything. When a cop finally returned and let Harris go, he looked across the street at the woman. She looked back at me and she gave me a thumbs up like, you all right? He explained, and I'm like, yeah, good. Harris said the woman was relieved to learn he was okay. According to his clip, she stuck around until he pulled away safely before finally leaving the scene herself. I was like, yeah. So what do you think about that, Smoke? He appeared on Blackish and Insecure.
So she might have known who the fuck he was. Like, oh, ain't that whatever. But I mean, it's like, it's just the tone of white allies. I mean, to me, it's just a person fucking recording on the phone. It wasn't nothing going on for it to be like some moment. You know what I mean? It's like we just like to take things. One is like we want to just be celebrities, man. It's like we want to go report every goddamn thing. You see us on here, hey, look at this, look at me, and recording the police, recording when you go here, record when you buy something, record. It's like, god damn, you know what I'm saying? So it's like one thing is like we just want to make a story out of things. You know, like it's a person recording your traffic stop. I mean, like what? You know, nothing happened. It wasn't like the officer started yanking you up or something. The lady ran over. It's like a non-story to me. You know what I'm saying? And it's just like with the times that's happening, people want to make themselves a part of it. You know what I'm saying? Like, oh, I was down here, protesting. I was doing this, Black Power. Look at this. All of these narratives, people like to just like to make themselves part of the narrative. And this narrative was the white ally narrative. He took a non-story and just tried flipping it. I mean, that's the way I see it. Nothing happened to him. The police wasn't nasty to him. They didn't jack him up. They didn't ask him for something that they don't normally. Like, it wasn't nothing about that. It was just him noticing the lady over there. And so it was like, who's to say she was scared? You know, that's sauce he put on it. Yeah, that was a story.
To me, when I read that shit, the first thing I thought was, that's like the cousin of the black men that be on TV on the news crying and shit. You know what I'm saying? Like, yeah, when we get so soft, yo, like, come on, man. I'm not even telling that story. Like, fuck out of here, man. I needed some white woman to protect me and shield me from fucking what? Fuck out of here, man. Like, when we get soft, yo.
We have all these stories, even including currently, of white women doing shit to black men.
You know what I'm saying?
If I even pick you up, fuck out of here.
Yeah. I fucking, look, remember the white boy from fucking from the group that murked Ahmaud Arbery and shit, you know what I'm saying? He was recording this shit too. He tried to come off in front like, I was recording this, make sure everything was okay. I was a witness. You know what I'm saying? And shit. And this nigga was chasing him down too and shit. You know what I'm saying? He got bagged up for fucking some child porn shit. You know what I'm saying? Like, yeah, like a bunch of scumbags and shit. But when I read that shit, I was just like, yo, why? Come on, man. This is what you sharing the story? Like, come on. Like, this would make you feel good? That's that white people. Yo, I remember there was a time when you didn't want that, you ain't want that. You know what I'm saying? Like, I can't even explain this shit, but you ain't want that. You did not want that. Now it's like we wallow in that. You know what I'm saying? Like, I can't even think of the word, yo, but it's just like we wallow in that, yo. We want it. We just want to roll around and lather, especially men. You know what I'm saying? I don't understand that. Like. And when I say this, I don't even mean exclusively, but if women do that, I get it. I'm not even condoling it with women. You know what I'm saying? But if women do it, I get it. But when men do it, I don't understand that shit. I'm sitting over here, but let's put it in reverse, Smoke, right? That was a black woman, 32-year-old black chick, right? She gets stopped by police, right? And a white man, he records it. It's the same story, right? Would have read that story, I would have been like, yo, the sister don't even realize. You know what I'm saying? We would have analyzed it different. Like, damn, yo, see how the black woman don't even peep how the game works? You know what I'm saying? Where this white boy come from to know that he was, you know what I'm saying? Like, we would have broke it down different. So when it's a man, I be looking at this shit different because I'm like, yo, where you as a man is like we don't got that confidence. And like me, I was never the one to be like, oh, when the police come, I put both of my hands on the steering wheel, and fuck y'all. I don't care how many black people y'all kill. I'm not doing all that fucking shit. You know what I'm saying? Fuck out of here, man. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's me. You know what I'm saying? And I can't speak for everybody, but that's me. I'm somebody who wouldn't wear a seatbelt, wrecked my car. My car wrapped around a tree. I ain't have no seatbelt on. Crawled out the car. Ran from the police. You know what I'm saying? When I got in a different car a couple of months later, still wasn't riding with no damn seatbelt on. You know what I'm saying? Like, that shit don't mean shit to me. You know what made me wear a seatbelt? A fucking cop busted U-turn. We both looked at each other eye to eye, fucking black cop. And that nigga seen I ain't had no fucking seatbelt on. He bust that U-turn and chased me down and shit before I gave up and pulled over and shit. And the nigga was like, seatbelt ticket. And that's when I said, fuck it, I'm going to wear a seatbelt. Because if this shit is, if not wearing the seatbelt is like a magnet to make a cop chase you, yeah, I'll wear a seatbelt.
Might as well.
You know what I'm saying? I don't need unwanted attention towards me, especially during that time of my life. You know what I'm saying? I was too dirty. I needed less cop attention, not more. So, you know what I'm saying? So that's why when I look at that and I read that story or I see some of these dudes, and it's not regular men. You know what I'm saying? I'm really talking about the image they portray on TV in the media. That's really what I'm really speaking of. Because it's not regular men. When I talk to regular men, I'll be like, oh, okay, whew. Okay, there's still men out here. There's still men out here.
I mean, you still have a big section of black people. We speaking about black men specifically, though. But you still got a section of black men that want a fucking hug by white people. By white women. They want to be loved by the white women. They want to be accepted by white people. I mean, we gotta just be real. I don't know what it is. I'm not gonna call them no names. Yeah. But it's something about being accepted by white America that you see amongst our people. You know what I mean? We will never be like, fuck white America. It's like,
but I'm gonna tell you what's crazy. They have a purpose.
You know what I mean?
Let me tell you, Terry Crews, some suckers, we wouldn't even have an issue with them if we had the economy. We wouldn't even have an issue with them. Because the Terry Cruzes would be the ones, they would be the bridge between black and white America. You see what I'm saying? They wouldn't be talking that crazy shit about black America. But what they'll do is they'll be the ones to be like, hey, come on down to Michigan to such and such soul food, you know what I'm saying? And bring in a lot of that white dollar across the bridge. That would be their job. But because we don't got an economy, because this is how I feel, Smoke. This is how I feel. I feel like the structure of slavery never went away. It's just a different generation of people filling the same old slots, if that makes sense. You know what I'm saying? The structure is always the same. We're just different. Gangs, how long have there been gangs in America? You see what I'm saying? Like, none of this shit is fucking new. So I feel like a lot of times these coons and shit like that, it's not like they're coons, but they're not the original coon. You know what I'm saying? They're just replacing the coon that died. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's who they are. The revolutionaries, they're the same recycled shit. Like, none of this shit is new. It's the same stuff, but everybody's changing. It's like the end of The Wire when Omar died, get murdered and shit. and then the little kid who killed him, and then you see everybody who replaced everybody and who replaced Marlo now, and it's the same game, but all the characters just change. You see what I'm saying? And I feel like that's how it is right now. But the thing is, we're now in the reality, the same reality that we always in the same time loop that we're in. But this time we're in a loop with the same issues and structure without an economy. This time we're trying to play the game instead of making money and having that stability that Martin Luther King was talking about. We're now trying to play the game and while relying on them to pay us and for us to work for them. And we'll get the money through your system and live. But the only way to do that is to be individual. And that's why we suffer. And that's why I always say we got to go back to thinking economy. We got to go back to thinking race. We have to, as black people, start thinking supremacy. Why? I'll show you why. You ready for the main topic, Smoke? Here we go with the drum roll. Trump claims Biden insulted the black community with remarks on Hispanic diversity. So, in an interview at the Conference of Black and Latino Journalists that aired Thursday morning, Biden was asked whether he would extend temporary protection status, TPS, for immigrants seeking asylum in the U.S. from a variety of Latin American countries. Yes, Biden said, when NPR Lulu Grace Navarro asked if he'll re-engage with Cuba on the topic. And by the way, he continued, what you all know, but most people don't know, unlike the African American community, with notable exceptions, the Latino community is an incredibly diverse community with incredibly different attitudes about different things. You go to Florida and you find a very different attitude about immigration in certain places than you do when you go to Arizona. Trump characterized the comparison as a slight against African American. Joe Biden, all right, and that's what Trump, I ain't going to play into what Trump said because that part's not really important. Trump ended the TPS protections for hundreds of thousands of Latin American immigrants in November of 2017. The program allowed immigrants from countries experiencing war, natural disasters, and other catastrophic events to remain in the U.S. So he goes, and that's pretty much it. But, there's a reason Joe Biden can't, and that's how the whole shit goes with Biden's comment. Smokey.
I was on mute. I'm sorry.
So you hear the Biden, huh?
Yeah, I heard all that. I was talking. I was on damn mute.
All right. Yeah, I'm see can I get the audio of that shit. Hey, but hear the audio. You can hear it.
Not yet. It's kind of low.
You hear it?
No, you got it's low. Turn the volume up if you can.
Let me see if we put this volume up. Okay, maybe this is it.
Sound like it.
Does that sound better?
Yeah. Let it play with you.
Yeah, so that's that. That's the whole audio. I hope
Very
that came
diverse.
out. Yeah, I hope that was pretty clear. You know what I'm saying? But the funny thing to me about it is this. First of all, how we even got into the goddamn conversation? There was no purpose for him to even bring up black people.
That nigga mad because he know the votes ain't coming out.
Yeah,
niggas don't want Joe Biden, man. He know that. Everybody know that. It's just going through the motions right now.
Let me tell you.
That's really the funny part.
Every time they open up that basement door, yo, he say something crazy and they close it. We don't see him for a couple of months. We ain't gonna see Joe Biden again. I'm telling you.
That cat know what it is, man. I can't this shit. They got me going on download this shit, man. I ain't got nothing.
The last time he was talking, the last time he had some issue, he was talking to the dude Nigel on CBS, and English black dude, and he asked Nigel asked Biden, will he take the cognitive test? And he like, no, come on, hell no, come on, man. What? That's like me asking you, would you take a drug test, man? You on cocaine? It's like, God, the fuck is he talking about?
That cat is crazy, man.
Yeah,
that cat
he get real, man. He get real loose and unprofessional when he gets around black people. Remember, he around Solomon the God, right? He like, yo, you know, if you don't vote for Joe, you ain't black. Ain't that fact? I'm like, what?
Yeah, he tried his Hillary Clinton impression, and she was doing the damn.
I saw some bag flag.
Yeah, fuck out of here, bitch.
You know what I'm saying? Shit. Like, come on, Charlamagne, let's do a freestyle battle. Freestyle,
bringing out all the stuff. Bringing it on.
You know, Donald Trump, he just looking for clout. He a clout chaser. Like, damn. Who the hell you been around? Simone Sanders? But that's so fucking.
That's funny.
But that's hilarious. When I tell you, man, yo, I sounded crazy as fuck 2016 when I said Donald Trump gonna win. Not only he's gonna win, he gonna get a second term, and after him he's gonna be a one-term Republican president. Now, prior to this comment, everybody like, oh look, this nigga Trump, yo. As soon as they open up that basement door, here go Biden. The nigga said, "Oh, close the door."
Yeah, that's wild.
Yeah, this dude said, black people. He said African Americans isn't a monolith. Yo, you have, and this is why people gotta understand the power of being black, right? Fuck that color bullshit and the crayons and all that shit the Moors like to say. This is the power of being black. When you say African Americans, you're isolating Black Caribbean, you're isolating Black Latinos, you're isolating Black African, which is an oxymoron. You're isolating, you know what I'm saying, Black Pacific Islanders, Black Asians, Black European. You dig what I'm saying? Like, you're isolating these people. When you say black, all them people know what the fuck we talking about and who we talking about and what group we talking about. You see what I'm saying? keep your title, but understand the group that you're a part of. You dig what I'm saying?
Yeah, that's right.
When you understand that shit, then what Joe Biden said is dumb as hell, because if the topic is about immigration and deporting people back to their countries, that's a concern for Caribbean people. That's a concern for African people. But that's not a concern for African Americans.
Wow.
You see what I'm saying? So what are we talking about? If you're talking about, now let's talk African Americans specifically, right? If you're talking about rents too high versus property taxes, I might be more interested in property taxes down south compared to up north, where they might be more concerned about lower rent. You see what I'm saying? Or land situations when you're going more towards the west or the Midwest. So it's like we all got individual issues and individual topics, that's things that's more important to us. But see, what happening is, and again, this is why Trump is the fucking best president for black people. All of this shit is being exposed. All this shit being exposed. Yo, I'm looking at Roland Martin's show, right? I should have took the damn. I should have had. You know what? Now that I know I can play the audio on a computer like this, I'm gonna go back to playing them clips. But I'm listening to them on Roland Martin and shit talk about it, and Shorty says, little chick on there, like listening to them talk, it's like they don't even know about Black Americans. These Black Americans. It's like they just know the intellectual version of being black. You dig what I'm saying? Like, they just know that smart way of being black type shit. You know what I'm saying? They can read off these different years and, you know what I'm saying? Like, these are like college educated blacks. You know what I'm saying? Type shit like that. These are probably people that grew up and learned who they were when they went to college type shit. You know what I'm saying? So, I say that to say this. One of the chicks on there, she goes, yeah, and no, Joe Biden, no, there may not be Black Colombians in America, but there's, and I'm like, there's not Black Colombians in America. What the hell are you talking about? It's Black Colombia. Like, what the fuck are you talking about? You know what I'm saying? Like, you that dumb? Like, you don't even know that we populate the globe? We populate the globe. Like, what do you mean there's no black? Yeah, there's black, like, there's black everything. Like, what are you talking about? See, but that's why we got to understand who we are. Black Americans are raised white. Black Americans is raised white. That's why it's so hard sometimes for black people to even know who they are, what they need to do, what they got to get. That's why we keep on thinking we have to convince white people, you know what I'm saying, that we're humans and we can have a family too, and we got to convince whites that, and look, the good whites, they're our allies and they're this and that. It's like, what is our obsession with white? We let the Mexicans and the Latinos elevate in the country. We let the foreign blacks elevate into the inside the country. We let the Asians elevate inside the country. We watch every group. Gays, they just start adding more fucking alphabets. Added some fucking alphabet and just put a plus. They just said, listen, just infinity. We own all the alphabets. Whatever we choose to be one day. Like, nobody even see the scam in that shit. Nobody even see. You're born gay and bisexual and trisexual and bisexual and, and crisexual and like every time you turn around, you're born something. But now every time you turn around, now they adding these different shits every other fucking week to the point where they just slap a plus on it and just say, "Listen, tomorrow we might want to fucking stick our toes in our ears and call us fucking." But the point is, we let all of this shit elevate above us, right? And the only thing that we care about is whether or not white people will accept us. That's all we care about. Everybody else is elevated, and we don't give a fuck. All we want white people to do is say, "I love you, nigga. I fucking love you." That's all we want. When that happens, we're gonna cry, hug, and shit like that, and then we're gonna scream equality. That's all we want. That's why when you have these conversations, Smoke, it's hard to translate with people. They like, it's like you talking to your homie, right? You talking to your homie. Your homie live with their moms, right? And you like, yo, you should move out. And they like, for what? I got a good job. I ain't got to pay no fucking rent. I'm lit, yo. Like, all my check come here. Mom Duke still buy me gear and clothes and kicks and shit. And I can eat, you know what I'm saying? Cable free, all that shit. And I get my check from work. Move out for what? You know what I'm saying? And it's like, that's how we are. It's like, that's how we are. We don't understand the importance of moving out of white daddy house. You know what I'm saying? We don't see the importance of that shit. And the sad part and reality of it is, us who make it, we're not the ones that's going to suffer. It's our children that's going to suffer. And it's not they're going to suffer in the sense of they're going to grow up to be failures, right? They're going to suffer because, like I said last show, that wasn't recorded. Just because I'm strong enough to deal with it doesn't mean my child is. You dig what I'm saying, Smoke? Just because you could wake up.
Built.
Yeah, he may not be built for it. Just because you wake up every morning to go to work, that don't mean your child want to wake up every morning and go to. They might be like, yo, I don't know how Pops did this shit. You know what I'm saying? Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, that's the reality. We're not setting shit up to pass on and build up. You see what I'm saying? Once we start building up, then we'll see it and we'll get it and we'll understand. We'll understand how low we are. We'll understand. That's why Biden can say the shit that he's saying. That's why. That's why Kamala could laugh at the Breakfast Club when asked, "What are you going to do specifically for black people?" Specifically for these niggas? I ain't doing shit. You know what I'm saying? Like, how do you laugh at your base? But we don't get it. We don't get it. Black African Americans had nothing to do with the fucking topic when Joe Biden was talking to the Latino coalition of whatever the fuck it was. The conference. Oh, okay. It says in an interview, okay, just to be fair, it says in an interview at a conference of black and Latino journalists, right? Just to be fair, that's the only part of the whole fucking situation that's black. It's just the title saying the Conference of Black and Latino Journalists. Because the topic he was speaking on was temporary protective status, TPS, for immigrants seeking asylum in the U.S. from a variety of Latin American countries. Not African American countries. Latin American countries. So what the fuck? He was talking to NPR's Lulu Garcia Navarro. Lulu Garcia Navarro. You can't get no more Latino than that, okay? How the hell? And then she talking about him re-engaging talks and conversation with Cuba. With Cuba. Not black Cuba. You see what I'm saying? They're not talking about black Cuba. They're talking about white Cuba. They ain't talking about black Cuba. So it's just what did African Americans have to do with the conversation, period? Nothing. But we was on his mind. He had to say, listen, Latinos, unlike African Americans, well, a couple of them stray, but they pretty much know what the fuck it is. But you Latinos, y'all different. we gotta work with y'all. Y'all look different. And then he said, "Oh, I said something wrong? What I said? What I said wrong? Because you know what they're not talking about with Joe Biden, right? Just to put it on record, they ain't talking about his sexual assault shit. You don't even remember that, do you?
Joe Biden, yeah. They don't know about it, but it's there.
Before they folded his ass inside the basement.
The same shit Trump was doing, or they was fucking with Trump about. Trump, we figure, man, they all the same, man.
All the same. That's why I say the only thing that black people are supposed to do right now, we're supposed to be building our economy up, so we can have this power that we desire, and then we can wield power. Because let me tell you something, black people. We're not dealing with racism in this country. I'm going to tell you that shit again. We are not dealing with racism in this country, black people. We are dealing with the effects of not having an economy. The economy is the shield that protects you. Let me tell you something about the big bad police. You know who controlled the big bad police? The business community. Right or wrong, Smoke?
Yep. Like the broken window laws and all that shit.
Yeah. all of this shit is business. Because the business community pays the politicians. The politicians pushes the agenda for the business, right? The police works for the business people. When y'all rioting and y'all fuck up their business, the business community get inside the police ass, the sheriffs. Remember, Smoke, when I said with the story in Chicago and Sirico or some shit, the Cicero or some shit like that.
When they was
attacking black people and shit.
The Latinos, yeah.
And the damn sheriff came out. And he said, well, they said they were just protecting their communities from rioting their businesses and shit like that. He was speaking as if this sheriff is speaking as if I just finished speaking to the business community in the business class, not no gangs. This wasn't a bunch of niggas outside and a news reporter looking for somebody to talk to and they talking on the mic about their grievances. No. These are the business community, even though these are thugs. But guess what? Them thugs represent business, economy. The agents do the same shit. Look at the LA riot, Smoke. These agents out there with fucking shotguns on roofs and all kind of shit like that.
Right.
But guess what? Nothing happened to them. They represent business. They're the business community. We don't get it.
Shit.
But what happened to all the blacks who was all outside and shit and dragging niggas out the car and all kind of shit and throwing it up and for their sets in their hood and all kind of shit? Them niggas got identified and thrown in jail. They was not the business community. That's the working class. Your ass supposed to be working. The fuck you outside here burning shit? Get your ass in the house. You a child. And that's how the game go. That's how the game go. And we don't get it. So then what happened is the bigger heads tell us, you know what that is? And we like, what? What is it? What is it, Jesse? What is it, Al? Tell me what it is. That's called racism. That's racism? So you telling me it's racism because they don't want my child to go to their school with dreadlocks? Yeah, that's racism. Oh, so should we get our own schools? No. We should make them change their policies to accommodate us. Oh, okay, thank you. And Jesse, you telling me that if this restaurant don't want to serve me, that's racism? Yeah, that's racism. So we shouldn't own our own restaurants and shit. So we don't got to deal with that. No. We should make them change their policies. Oh, okay. Okay, thank you. And these politicians that don't do nothing for us, what's the reason for that? Oh, because y'all niggas don't vote. Y'all don't vote enough. Y'all got to come out. I need 100% of y'all to vote. If any one of y'all don't vote and the candidate loses, your fault. Oh, okay, because your people died for this. Oh, okay, thank you, Al. Thank you, Jesse. Thank you, black leaders. We're gonna fight racism. We're gonna fight white supremacy. What is white supremacy? That's why I'll be like, if you really want to know the pressure that white people had on black people, you have to read. You got to really read from the 1900s up. You have to read from the 1900s up. I would say the late 1800s, but I want to give time. I want to give time in transition. I want to give time where we were still protected by the federal troops. I want to give time where the institution of slavery, as what they last knew it, was over. And white people had some time to adjust to the new norm of black people being free, right? I wanted to give a turning of a century, which would be the 1900s, and I wanted to show black people on an upward swing before these whites started to burn down our towns and pass laws to really oppress us. When you read what was happening to our people, then you will understand what racism and white supremacy is. This shit we're dealing with right now is not racism and white supremacy at all. If our ancestors came now to this time right now, they would call us all coons. They would look at us the way we look at Terry Crews. Yo, Smoke, they would look at us, Smoke, like how we look at Terry Crews, yo.
That's funny, man.
What is y'all bitching about, yo? Oh, this white man said he don't like black girls. Like that's what racism is to you? You fucking coon. Fucking sellout. Like, what the hell is wrong with you? What's wrong? What's racism? This store said I have to get up. No, I can't enter the store because of the dress code policy. That's what you call it racism? You fucking coon? You sellout? Like, fuck out of here, man. Where's your fortitude? Where's your testicular where your balls at, my nigga? You know what I'm saying? What's it called? Testaccio?
Yeah, I don't know. I know what you're trying to say, but I'm not about to trip up over it.
Yeah, I can't say yeah. Where your balls? Where your nuts at? You know what I'm saying? Fuck out of here. Let's say it in layman's terms.
Testicular fortitude.
Yeah, testicular fortitude. Where your nuts at? You know what I'm saying? Like, don't walk around big dog in a hood. That's why I told you. That's why I said I don't do all that alpha male bullshit. Because these niggas talk all that alpha male shit and nothing but fucking bullshit happen in their community. And I'm like, you an alpha male to who? Huh? Intimidate another nigga? Like, to beat up on your girl? Like, fuck you, alpha what? You know what I'm saying? Look at your neighborhood. Your neighborhood is running rampant. Now, if I run into your neighborhood and you like, yo, nothing but alpha males over here, yo. Nothing but alpha males in this fucking block over here. That mean no children being molested. You know what I'm saying? These babies being taken care of properly. The old people could walk up and down their block comfortably. They don't got to be locked up in the house because they're scared to go outside because people might start shooting. You know what I'm saying? There should be structure and order. The kids should be, there should be respect. You know what I'm saying?
Right. start, the better.
Hey, it's always the earlier, you know what I'm saying? But even if the child 15, even if they're a 15-year-old knucklehead, and you just getting the knowledge and the wisdom right now, and you just like, yo, you know what, you're right. You still got to sit that child down. You know what I'm saying? You still got to. Now, how? That's your determination. Me, I'm pro violence. You know what I'm saying? So I'll treat the little knucklehead like a OG on the block. You know what I'm saying? And be like, listen, man. I ain't gonna say my method over the air, but
Yeah, but like when you got knuckleheads and you have an economy, you got a chance to turn them around. So you see that with, you know what I'm saying, some white boys where they was crazy when they was young, but now they some fucking CEO or they, you know what I mean? They've been through those trials and tribulations, but they have people that can get them the job. Like, come on, man, put them under their wing and shit like that. A lot of us can't put these youngsters under our wing because we ain't got shit to give them. You know what I'm saying? We got shit to give them. We ain't got no jobs to tell them. And then it just become preaching. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, yo, brother, y'all got to get out the street. And then the young brother like, well, shit, I want to get out. Show me how. You like, well, shit, you got to figure that out. Nobody, the kids don't want to hear that. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, with no economy, we don't got nothing for them. We don't got nothing for them.
But to add on to that, they did figure it out. That's why they're in the street.
It's the wrong way, yep.
I asked you, so what can I do then to get some money? You said, I don't know. Figure it out. I figured it out. I'm going to move this pack. Yeah. Now you telling me stop. But won't tell me, well, what you going to replace that with. So you know what that let you know, Smoke? Now to add on, because we don't have an economy, that's why these kids out here doing other shit. Because the need is always going to be there. Food, clothing, shelter. That always has to be provided. So now who are these kids? The ones moving the packs, those are workers. We say it all the time, right? Those are workers. The people that they go to, those are the managers. And then the managers, the ones they go up to, those are the boss. Or however, you know what I'm saying, your structure is set up. I just want to keep it short. So technically, a lot of these brothers in jail are, because remember the spirit I told you about Terry Crews, right? I said that I feel like we're living in the same loop, time loop, and we're just replacing roles. So in saying that about Terry Crews replacing the role of other coons, right? I feel like a lot of these brothers that are in prison when it comes to so-called drugs or making money so-called illegally, right? I feel like a lot of them are brothers that are playing the role of businessmen. You see what I'm saying? They're playing the role of businessmen. But because we don't got an economy, they serve no purpose. Think about that.
Mm-hmm.
They serve no purpose. So guess where they got to go? You got to go to slavery. You got to go to jail. Because guess what they did when they was burning our economies down? They started to attack our what? Businessmen and businesswomen. They started to attack them and kill them. To the point where a lot of black people started to flee the South, run to the Midwest, up north and shit like that to work in the factories, They went from being owners and landowners and business owners to have to fleeing because of the violence to work. You see? A lot of blacks stayed, a lot of blacks fought back. You know what I'm saying? But these blacks that died, these blacks that, you know what I'm saying, end up losing it, yo, their spirits, what they say, energy just rehash, right? Energy don't go nowhere. So then what happened to the spirit of all these business people? They come back.
Yeah.
And when they come back now, because you know, there's only a percentage of us who can get work. Because they're only hiring. Elijah Muhammad told us that the white man won't be able to have enough jobs for his own people, let alone the black race also. So there's only a certain percentage that was agreed upon for us to work. So the other percentage that can't get work, guess what they're going to do? They're going to turn into entrepreneurs unwillingly. I mean, willing or unwillingly. They're going to turn into entrepreneurs. The ones who cannot be entrepreneurs, who can't work, they will be the workers for the ones who create this new job. in this new industry, which is the drug industry. And as we took on this industry, a lucrative industry, that's how a lot of people get to do what? And listen to the words we use, folks. That's how a lot of times people get to do what? They get to eat, right? What do you call the young boys moving in packs? They're workers. You see what I'm saying? Yeah, you got work. You got work. Yo, I'm looking for work. You know what I'm saying? Like, they telling you what the fuck they want. They telling you. We're saying it. You know what I'm saying? We're not dumb. We're not dumb people. We're saying what we're looking for. We're saying what it is. You know what I'm saying? But what happened is, because that one, it's like the mystery God, you know what I'm saying, is economy. And you got to get inside the mystery school system to learn that. You know what I'm saying? Like, we're saying it and don't even get it. And that's why we're weak. Because the game, we're the only group of people in the country, in the world, that's strong as individuals and weak as a group. That's what I was told, right? But now, because you always got to re-examine shit that you hear. You don't just say it and keep repeating it because you heard it. But once you understand that we need an economy, we're strong as individuals. The strength as a group will come with a fucking economy. If we're strong as individuals, then that means with an economy, we taking over. We don't even got to say we're taking over. But with an economy, we're taking over because we're going to see it work. And once we see it work, automatically we're going to understand why. And I know that because we always jump start when Republicans are in power. I always see that battery start to ying, 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 ying. And I see all black people like, yeah, we almost got it. We almost got to feel it this time. We on to something this time. We got to keep the momentum. And I keep on telling black, wait till them Democrats get into power. That whole momentum stops. It stops. And we always get excited when that damn Republicans is in power. It's in power and shit. Because we keep on seeing Republicans. I'm not even going to say Republicans are racist, right? That narrative got to stop. Republicans are Republicans, and they're on the side of what they're on. Democrats is Democrats. They're on the side of what they're on. We're supposed to try to benefit off of both sides. We're supposed to benefit off of whoever's in power. You see what I'm saying? Like, that's it. We're not supposed to pick sides. We're supposed. When you listen to the Republicans,
you're supposed to
strategize,
not pick sides.
Right? Strategize. Fuck out of here. Because when you look at the Republicans and shit, what the first thing we say? Damn, they dumb on the Republican side, and all they think about is, and all they, yeah. The Republicans is the Keep It Real committee. That's how I look at the Republicans. They're the Keep It Real committee.
Keep it.
Because if you looking for corruption, you'll see that shit. They don't keep it real. They're gonna be doing corrupt shit, and they're gonna find out. You're gonna be like, damn, nigga, you done took how much money? Like, they keeps it real. You know what I'm saying? When they advertising, when they on bullshit, you see. Look at Farley, the preacher boy and them son. He got caught out there, pants all unzipping some woman. I didn't see the picture, but, you know, they was talking about it. And then his explanation was so fucking bogus. So they telling him to step down and shit. And he like, okay, and all kind of shit. And I'm just like, yeah, because they the keep it real side. There's you can see their bullshit, basically, is what I'm saying when I say keep it real. You can see their bullshit. You know they full of shit. Like, if you get fucking bamboozled and hoodwinked by these conservatives, especially nowadays, you're just gullible. because they're easy to read.
Right.
With the
Obvious.
with the Democratic side, they're the front end side. They like the front. They don't keep it real. They like to sell you dreams and tell you shit and yo, I got you, I got your back. Yo, just wait right here. You know what I'm saying? Like that's how they are. You know, they'll string you along. You know what I'm saying? Type shit like that. That's how they are. You know what I'm saying? These motherfuckers, they're the ones that'll be like, come on, Smoke, just train this kid right here on all the stuff that you know. And you're like, I no doubt. Then fucking next week you get fired. You know what I'm saying? Like that's how the Democrats are.
See what we're gonna do? We're gonna have a dual role. That's gonna give you less work to do. You're like, hell yeah.
That's how the Democrats, the Republicans will be like, listen, man, we get rid of your ass. But before you go, teach Pedro your job. And you're like, what? I know this dumbass fucking. He ain't just tell me that shit. You know what I'm saying? That's how the Republicans are. They ain't masking their shit. So you have black people out here, really out here invested, not in the betterment or the advancement of black people. We're literally out here focused on, do we want covert racism or do we want overt racism? That's what we're fighting for. I'm just like, that's the dumbest fight I've ever heard in my fucking life. That's the dumb. You got the Latinos right now. That was the whole conversation with Biden, Smoke. Are you going to re-engage with Cuba so we can have a link, financial link back to Cuba so we can keep sending money and sending shit back and forth and help strengthen the Cuban economy through America? That's basically what they said. And are you going to do the TPS or whatever it's called program, reenact it since Trump shut it down, to allow other Latin American nations, Latin Americans to leave their country to come into America? And he said, as soon as I come in, I'm doing that shit. And I'm like, yo, black people, y'all voting for him. Y'all voting for him. Because this is how the game goes. This is what they don't get, Smoke. Black people know, black people, you're not a monolith. And nobody gives a fuck if you're a monolith. You know what the Democratic Party don't like about you, black people? You're fickle. You're fucking fickle and unreliable. This is what the Democratic Party don't like about you. You're fickle and you're unfucking reliable. They don't got time to be fucking learning the new dance. They ain't got time to be doing the JV Block Boy shoot. You know what I'm saying? They ain't got time for that shit. They ain't got time to patronize. They ain't got time to listen to another Beyonce album. They ain't got time for this shit no more. They don't want to do no more. They just like, listen, nigga, vote, the end. Y'all not getting shit. But take your ass and vote for your people. So now they like, you know what? What we got to do about this fucking... Alright, I got it. Because if we put the gays and the Asians together with the Latinos, we still don't got no fucking... We still can't outnumber the black... We still need the black vote to win. So what the fuck is we gonna do? Oh, wait. All the Latinos aren't voting? So what if we do amnesty and put all these Latinos that's in the country that's not that can't vote because they're illegal and make them legal? And how will we increase the vote in black men? Oh, Latinos don't just vote Democrats; they mainly vote Republican. Fuck. We still need black people. All right. So what's the Latino group that's mainly voting Democrats? Oh, the newly arriving Latinos. They the ones that vote because they have to be on welfare and get acclimated into the system. So 9 out of 10, they're gonna go Democrat over Republican. Okay, so let's get this TPS system set up, and then we're gonna have other Latinos from other Latino countries come to the country to increase this Latino number, so we can isolate this black vote and don't have to rely on this fickle vote anymore. That's the part of the game that we're not getting. That's the part of the game that we're not getting. It's 2020, and the Democratic Party is now saying, we should listen to what black. Yo, actually, they say this every time it's time to vote for a president, Democratic president. We need to listen to the black community. We can't hold their vote for granted while holding their vote for not listening to us. But they know
what they care about us.
They don't give a
fuck. They care of you.
That's why I say we don't get it because there's no economy. We don't get it because there's no fucking economy. Me explaining to black people the importance of an economy in a capitalistic society is like explaining to a renter the importance of upkeeping your property. You know what I'm saying? A renter might not have a problem. He might be used to seeing oil stains in the parking lot. You know what I'm saying? Because multiple cars parked there. Where you as a homeowner, you don't want to see a big ass oil stain in your street. That shit look nasty. That shit make my fucking property look. You know what I'm saying? Like you're thinking different on what you want to do.
Right.
You think different on your escrow. You think different on your mortgage and you know everything that ties into all of that shit. You know what I'm saying? Compared to a renter. Renter not worrying about all of that. You putting money aside as a homeowner for in case the water heater go out or the AC unit go out. Where a renter is like, I'm calling maintenance. You know what I'm saying? So it's like it's a different mind frame. So go ahead, son.
Oh no, I wasn't cutting you, bro.
I was gonna say because a lot of times when black people talk, it's like we don't understand. Like we try to talk about it, but we don't understand the game. It's like listening to your son explain to you about life, but he's talking about getting money and living life, but he ain't mentioned not one time about bills. He ain't mentioned shit about
picture. That's a full picture.
You know what I'm saying? But he's talking about someone get the house and the car, and you're like, you ain't had not a bill to this dream yet. You know what I'm saying? And that's how we are when it comes to economy. We keep on talking about, you know what? We need to get Smoke, and we all vote for Smoke, and Smoke will be the mayor. And that's how change. How the fuck are you gonna get Smoke to be the mayor? Don't you know you gotta pay? You have to pay. You have to donate. His campaign has to be funded with cash, with money.
Cash, straight cash only.
You know what I'm saying? Like, what are we talking about? Oh, we just voted. We just go down on election day and vote him in. Yeah, but that's not going to solve the problem. This is capitalistic society. You see what I'm saying? But we don't get it because when you have that economy, that's when you get it. See, that's why so many black people end up joining religion, because religion becomes an economy-based type group. So a lot of blacks become.
Sometimes I just think like we think it's gonna be quick. It's not a snap your fingers process. You know what I'm saying? It's like, you know, some people can get rich in their lifetime, or you know, establish property and things like that. But just overall as a black economy, that's like, it's gonna take time and years, generations. So sometimes we be wanting to see like the results within our lifetime, and it might not be the case. So you just have to stick to it. So you have to understand, like, well, this may be a 100-year plan. In my 20 years of being, going towards the plan, let's say we started tomorrow. I'm 40. I ain't going to be here at 140. I'm not going to be. I know I'm not going to be here. So I got to live to say, well, I'm going to be. I can anticipate, let's say 70. I'm 40.
Yeah.
That's 30 years. Now I got a 30-year plan that I got to follow through and make sure my kid pick it up or whatever the case may be. You know what I'm saying? But you just got to know that everyone else, the youth or the next generation is going to actually see it out. You might not see it out. You just got to stick to the plan.
Hey, just tell the youth, at least put my picture up.
Put me in a book or something, yo.
You know what I'm saying? But this I'm gonna read this little part again.
That's why you gotta treat your kids good, man. They the ones
you gotta treat them. You know what I'm saying? Shit. So I'm gonna read this part again. This is from page 147, and where do we go from here? Martin Luther King Jr. And it ties into what you were just saying, Smoke. Because even if it's not, it's a 100-year plan, true indeed, right? But then let's talk about even though you're not going to see it in your lifetime, this is what you can experience in your lifetime.
Gotcha.
It goes, nothing so vividly reveals the crushing impact of discrimination and the heritage of exclusion as the limited dimensions of Negro business in the most powerful economy in the world. America's industrial production is half of the world's total, and within it, the production of Negro business is so small that it can scarcely be measured on a definable scale. I'm going to stop right there real quick, because that is the problem, Smoke, that a lot of black people have. Yo, I ain't trying to start this because look how much stuff the white people already got. Look how big I can't compete with. Look how big this is, and look how big that is. And who gives a fuck? And here's why. Go ahead, Smoke.
These big companies didn't just become big.
Exactly.
These are small companies that merged together, bought out other companies. And, 20, 30 years down the line, they become who they are, you know what I mean? It's just, and maybe even longer than that. So it's like, yeah, but go ahead.
So then the second part, it goes, yet in relation to the Negro community, this is the most important part of an economy, black people. This is the most important part. This is the satisfaction, black people. This is where your low crime comes in. This is where your solid, strong black family comes in. This is where your better quality of black men come in, and your better quality of black women come in, right? Yet in relation to the Negro community, the value of Negro business should not be underestimated. In the internal life of the Negro society, it provides a degree of stability. Why is that important, Smoke? That the Negro business provides a degree of stability.
Stability, consistency.
See? That's what we don't get. See, when you have business black people and you have an economy black people, that's when you can scream community. When you have a business black people and you have an economy black people, the stability comes in because now I can say to my 14 or 15-year-old son, when I say to him, it's the summertime, boy, go out there and find you a job. He can run to the local grocery store and make some money pushing shopping cart. or bagging grocery or being a stock boy. Why? Because there's business. It's the stability is how many blacks can work and take care of their family. And when we say this, we're not saying black people isn't going to work for white people. You damn right black people is going to work for white people. But we're talking about the black people who can't work for white people. The black people who can't work for white people, guess what? They can work for black people. Think about that. Think about that. Now you got black people working for white people, and you have another percentage of black people working for black people. Think about what that unemployment rate look like. Think about that. Think about that.
Well,
think about what that do
what it is now.
Yeah. We got to deal with we got to do what we're dealing with right now. But think about what that does, Smoke. What that do to the communities.
Give you options. Stabilize.
You see what I'm saying? See, but we don't get that shit. We don't get it because we don't want to be men. A lot of women don't want to be women.
Real bosses instead of the
real
fake bosses that we like to scream out and shit.
Yeah. These niggas managers screaming boss.
He's ain't none of that. Screaming boss.
He's a team lead.
They don't got no job talking about boss.
You know what I'm saying? Like, fuck out of here. Like, come on.
But to be serious. But yeah, joking around. But yeah, that's really the main thing.
That's for real.
We have a lot of issues that we can curb by establishing our own funds. We generate money and it flows through our community. The same thing, like you always hear people talk about the Jews and how long the Jewish dollar stays in the Jewish community and shit. Well, ours run out the quickest because we don't got a reason for it to stay there.
Exactly.
We don't have no businesses to even spin with. So it's going to run out of the community. It ain't because we dumb. It ain't because it ain't none of the stereotypes.
$1 trillion a year. Who gives a fuck? Who gives a fuck?
Just the fact that we just need to think with a long-term goals. You know what I mean? We got to have short-term goals and long-term goals. We got to start somewhere, but that's really the source of it. I mean, we always talk about that on the show. It's like no matter what, what might be going on, we try to tie it into that. It's always a mention of economy, regardless of what's happening. Because at the end of the day, what we realized throughout the time is like you can resolve a lot of shit.
Could always go back there. Could even watch this one.
Resolve a lot of the problems.
Despite formidable obstacles. So they're not saying there's no obstacles. They said despite. This is what Martin Luther King said. Despite formidable obstacles. The real shit. Not this fake shit that we're dealing with right now, right? Despite formidable obstacles, it has developed a corps of men of competence and organizational discipline who constitutes a talented leadership reserve. So you sit here and you say, where's the black men at? Where's the leaders in our society? Where's the black men to talk to these boys? They got to be developed, and they get developed through economy. Why? Here's another part to go back to the word stability, Smoke. It said, in the internal life of the Negro society, it provides a degree of stability. What does that? The Negro business that shouldn't be underestimated in our communities. It provides a degree of stability, right? Okay, so watch this, Smoke. If I said, business should not be underestimated. In the internal life of a family, it provides a degree of stability, right? When I don't say Negro or Negro community, I say family. And I say how this business provides a degree of stability. When it translates into your mind, what do that mean, Smoke? Bills being paid, lights on, house, food,
month to month,
month to month,
right on time.
You see what I'm saying? You start to think this family's doing pretty good. It's a stable family.
Yeah, food on the table.
You see? So, again,
fridge full.
We talking about the Negro business. The Negro business should not be underestimated in our community. In the internal life of the Negro society, it provides a degree of stability for the society. It's talking about economy. So then it goes, their cumulative strength may be feeble, measured against the mammoth of white industry, but within the community, they furnish inspiration. Inspiration, Smoke. That's what the black business. That's what's having the black economy. What it furnish. Inspiration. And you know that we need to furnish inspiration, Smoke, because these silly niggas put all the kind of shit on Instagram to inspire us now, right? Yeah, I'm gonna put my new Bentley out on Instagram to inspire the youth. So we know
inspiration.
Yeah, and that's why I said nothing wrong with that, because that person is feeling the spirit of these same people that would furnish inspiration. It's just that we don't got economy no more, so we're doing it stupidly, because the only thing that can furnish inspiration is what? Seeing these cumulative black businesses together, keeping this community stable, so these families can strive and go on through rough, turbulent times, through recessions, through depressions, through racist laws. It's showing stability, strength. These businesses, we no longer have it. And now we wonder why we fall, right? It said they furnish inspiration and are the resource for the development of programs and planning. They said they are the resource. They said they are the resource for the development of programs and planning. So showing you that once you have this black economy and it's stabilizing the community, and it's inspiring people, let's just use that as the youth, and it's making men more competent, strong, responsible, turning them into more leadership characteristics. They're showing you what ends up developing programs and planning, because guess what? I know what the fuck I'm planning for. And I know what the fuck we need programs for. Because guess what, Smoke? If I'm developing something and I'm like, yo, you know what? We need some more fucking computer engineers in here. And everybody's like, yeah, you're right. So now we're gonna pull our monies together and shit like that. And we're gonna set up this computer programming class or school or academy or whatever for the youth to go in there, so we can have more. Right? Why? Because we say we need that in our community. We need nursing program. We need this medical program. We need engineering program. But we don't get it because again, the economy out, and it's like, well, what we need? Let's paint the basketball courts. Let's add more nets to the courts. Let's give some basketballs to the kids so they can play basketball all day. Let's throw some music in the park. DJ, let them dance. Like, let's have a big fish fry and feed the hood. Like, we come up with these dumbass ideas because it's like, you know, what else am I supposed to do? Like, but if you understand what economy is, then you know what to do. We don't know what to do because we don't got economy there. Because we don't got economy there, then we end up, you know what I'm saying, having these weak-ass solutions that's like Band-Aids. Go ahead, Smoke.
Yeah, we can either fix it or just deal with it. But, I mean, it's like, this shit, but we just got to keep in mind that it's a process. So you might not see it out, but you just got to stick to it. But we got to start from somewhere. Otherwise, just deal with it. Stop complaining.
Stop complaining about it. Because about economy, you might as well just deal with this shit. Because you just talking some temporary shit. Tired of temporary shit. Tired. But we got, what, 2 more months? 2 more months and a couple of weeks before election time?
Yep.
So, yeah, we're gonna do another. We're gonna do another election show last time. So we're gonna see if the prediction is correct. Or we're gonna see if I'm gonna be shocked and awed. But
yeah, you gotta click back them old shows.
Yeah, you gotta listen to shows so you can hear the down for that time. But
you might have to repost that one. Find it and repost it.
Yeah, you know what? I might do that. But until then, Smoke, man, it's already anything you want to leave the people?
Yeah, be real bosses. Let's do that. Peace.
Let's do the real boss shit. But really just plan your shit, you know what I'm saying? And to figure out what it is you got to do. Stop all of the make-believe, dreaming, fucking bullshit. You know what I'm saying? You want to do something on a large scale, do something that's going to benefit your people. Look into the hatchery, the chicken joint, the fish joint. Look into multifamily. So guess what? Black people gonna need places to live and to stay. You know what I'm saying? But before I leave, let me put my Cash App out there. Black Wadada LLC, BLACK WADADA LLC. And shit, Smoke, you wanna close out with anything?
Yo, another Friday. How long we been doing this shit? We doing this shit for a little while, so salute to the listeners. You know what I'm saying? My Cash App is Smoke the Dude, DA Dude. Good.
Yeah, but until then, we out. Peace.